Hey you, before the video starts, consider dropping a like, a comment, and maybe consider subscribing. This really does help the channel grow. On to the video. Hey guys, Main here, back here with another account review. Today we are looking at Wippaz's account. Fair warning, I do have my cat immediately to my right, almost directly next to my mouse. So we're going to see if he interferes with the cord at all. Reason I say that is because he likes to be up on the microphone sometimes. So if you hear some random noises, either I'm hitting my microphone or my cat is rubbing against it. Just fair warning in case you hear any noises during the course of this account review. Today, we're just looking at Wippaz's account. I believe fairly endgame based off the Dragon Warrior statue being a 242, and also not to mention the hyper obols that I see here. Lots of hyper obols. There's a lot of hyper obols indeed. Statue levels are relatively low, so there's a little bit of conflicting information that I see. Prints almost nearing 1 trillion prints. Oh, 4 trillion print here. Okay, so I mean, fairly decent, I'd say. What else? What else can we look at that kind of signifies that? I mean, honestly, Death Note should be done already. For all the Eclipse goals, and 100k Glunko is pretty good. If you want a goal to aim for, try to hit a million Glunko. It's honestly not that hard these days. I guess Dr. Deficus getting to 100k is, small, slow, incremental goal you can try to aim for. Baba Yaga to 10k is definitely what you should try to do. I think all of these bosses at 10k minimum is what you should aim to do, with probably the exception of Domio Magus and Demented Spirit Lord, because obviously they have a lot more HP than the other bosses. And cat is moving, and there's no easy respawn for them. You just gotta stock it up over time, but just remember to use your Bonjo Pickles whenever you do kill them, because that's how you get the kills. Anyways, moving on. Glunko to 1 million is the moral of the story there. Buildings are a good one to look at as always for someone who's in the end game. Just my advice when it comes to construction is just remember to try to upgrade your cheapest, or rather the fastest upgradable building in one of your trim slots. That way you're able to level up those buildings. If you prioritize the lowest level building, in the long run, it'll yield you more refinery speed, but also more build rate, notably. So you are able to, I guess, more or less finish construction. It very long ways away. It's not possible right now, but you eventually, I guess the goal would be to try to finish construction, or at least try to finish some buildings. So, aim to do that. These days, a lot of people are aiming towards getting Primordial Shrine to level 200 with the advent of the Arcane Cultist. Being able to stack up both AFK gains and drop rate on Neptunes may be something you want to do in the near future, so you don't waste too much candy. That's definitely something you can do. Additionally, when you do use the candy to try to get the black lenses on Neptunes, I would highly recommend trying to move your shrines there. That way the candy counts for that, as well as moving your golden cheese across your, on the character that you're using the candy on. Which character is better? I suppose it genuinely doesn't matter. Just the character that you can get the most drop rate on without equipping any HP affecting. Well, I guess honestly, HP affecting prayer doesn't really matter. Just equip minus mind. Now, I often see people run into the problem of thinking that multi-kill will help them with this. I do want to reiterate, multi-kill does not help you with black lenses. It's often forgotten that multi-kill only affects the first item of the drop table. That's it. Multi-kill does not impact the amount of black lenses you will get. It just does not work like that. The only way to get more black lenses is drop rate, AFK gain, and that's it. And mob respawn, technically, because the more mobs you can kill within a time frame, the more black lenses you get. And I do believe mob respawn does increase, when you use candy, it should impact the amount of mobs you get per hour, and those count as base mobs, and those count towards the black lenses. So I believe mob respawn works here, but the best ways to get black lenses, or some of these rare materials, for example, like Woodular Circles, would be drop rate and AFK gain. Multi-kill has 0 impact when it comes to this, so you don't need to min-max for multi-kill. It's strictly fighting AFK gains, or generally AFK gains as a whole. Now, the other thing I want to clarify is when I'm talking about Arcane Cultist, why Arcane Cultist makes this good, it's because remember that this statue, this crystal thing, impacts the amount of drop rate and AFK gain you get on that specific mob. Now, I don't have the crystal down on this because, you know, it reduces my tachyon gain, but, you know, dropping this crystal here and charging up and getting kills, you know, getting these kills here will get you the stack for drop rate and for AFK gain, depending on the color of the crystal that you farm. And you do need to do this on Arcane Cultist form, so make sure to be in AC form. Drop the crystal down. So I guess I can go there to show you guys, but you just drop the crystal down. The purple one denotes drop rate. The blue one, which you just click on this 2 more times, and there's the blue one, will denote AFK gain. So you just kind of sit here and kill. And, you know, just leave this for the course of, I don't know, a few hours and probably get this like 1.01, 1.02 or something like that. And then farm the AFK crystal and then just go use some AFK, use some time candy. Honestly, I might actually park my AC here for a little bit because I personally need to do that myself. It's only 158. I can definitely give this up. Biggest issue I have is just not having the black lenses, and this will be a great way to do that. And I guess while I'm farming Neptunes, because I'm here, make sure my contact lenses are filtered out, and I'll be able to drop black lenses. So over time, I'll just naturally drop them, which will help go towards that goal. But as I'm farming up the drop rate, it'll help me immediately in the short term. But eventually when I candy, I'm going to want to stack up the blue crystals. So kind of just do this, and then, you know, there we go. Just walk away. That's it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, to that point, you need to be in AC form. You need to be active on the character. So if you aren't able to run the game 24/7 or, you know, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day like I do, then you're kind of screwed, and you can't really get that drop rate multiplier or the AFK gain multiplier. But, you know, if this is something that you're able to do Wippaz, then absolutely do it, because, you know, that's another 96 levels for your shrines, which means more build rate for you, more refinery cycle speed, and probably a few other things that I can't remember that construction mastery in the Rift gives you. So keep that in the back of your mind. Definitely something for you to try to aim for in the near future. Apart from that, I think you're doing good just upgrading whatever buildings that you have here. I think most of these are your lowest or rather your fastest built towers. I do want to point out Frozen Malone, Boulder Rollers, and Party Starters are something you should probably prioritize more than the others, because those are relatively cheap, the towers ones at least. And then Atom Collider, obviously, for the trim slot. Talent Library Book, you can actually max out at 201. I recently did this myself. You can actually max out Talent Library Book. Pretty easy. Yeah, it's not that bad. Equinox, how's your Equinox doing? Equinox symbols 29 out of 34, so pretty far into endless summoning, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, this is mostly how people get to 450 talents nowadays. I think you're a little bit ways away from being able to get to 450 talents. I'm not sure. I guess this would be the character to aim for on that, huh? So yeah, I mean, you're a little bit ways away. So you're missing quite a few things when it comes to talent levels. So obviously Equinox is going to help you there. I honestly can't remember what level of Equinox I'm at. I think 34 or 35 or so. So you might be missing like Grimoire or something, maybe. Oh yeah, definitely Grimoire. Yeah, you're missing 30 here from Skull of Major Talent. So a big, yeah, definitely reorient your account to try to get to Skull of Major Talent as quick as you possibly can. You have 2 Deathbringers, okay? You can very immediately feel the benefit of plus 30 minimum talent levels. This is probably your number 1 goal right now that you need to hard focus trying to get. I highly recommend trying to get the AFK bones necessary to get there. Remember that the Deathbringer sheet exists, and honestly, someone pointed this out to me on Reddit, because I don't really look at Idleon efficiency, I'm not going to lie, but this was recently updated, and I haven't used it yet, but I feel like it is good. Idleon efficiency recently updated the masterclasses section, so you can actually click here eventually when it loads, hopefully soon. Masterclasses, go to Grimoire. Yeah, it does show here. Yeah, it actually has resource weights, so you can input just like the spreadsheet does. You can actually input the hourly rates that you personally get on femurs, ribcages, craniums, and bovinate, and this also does work for your compass, and this does work for your tesseract as well. So if you want to use these, by all means, go ahead. I haven't tested it, so I actually don't know if this actually works, but you can strictly optimize for whatever it is that you want to do. My recommendation, since you're trying to unlock Skull of Major Talent, I would do Unlock Path, because what this does is this will make it so it prioritizes the cheapest upgrade for you, and it will prioritize trying to get to the next upgrade. If you clicked on Wraith damage, for example, it would prioritize trying to scale your damage on Wraith form. That's not what you want to do. You want to scale the amount of upgrades you're at, because remember, the more upgrades you put into the Grimoire, the more damage and accuracy and defense you'll get naturally because of your talents. So prioritizing right now, Unlock Path is the most important, and especially right now, since you're trying to get the Skull of Major Talent, getting those 30 talent points is going to be very crucial for you. So focus on Unlock Path, consolidate the upgrades if you want. It just basically means all it is, it's just telling you, instead of spreading out Wraith health over 13 times, it just consolidates it to telling you need to upgrade it 13 times here. And this is what the total bone cost would be. Now, this is for me. My next upgrade is Death of Adam Price, so it is very costly, very expensive. It's going to take hundreds of hours for me to get there, but for you, it will not necessarily. You just need to use your charred bones. And actually, I do want to check, do you have charred bones? Because often people just hoard onto this and don't use them. It's like somewhere in here. You have 3,000 charred bones. Yeah, please. Okay. Yeah, just go unlock Skull of Major Talent. Like you can very easily unlock it with 3,000 charred bones. So that's 30 talent levels. You're at 441. So you're missing 9. Okay. Gonna look at your elemental sorcerers. 719 minimum. Okay, 719 is the breakpoint on your elemental sorcerer to try to aim for +1, because the family bonus, remember, for elemental sorcerer gives you +1. Arctis at 18. Okay, I guess Symbols of Beyond, maybe something you want to look at. Some people kind of forget that as well. You have that booked at 300 plus. Okay, what else? Yeah, you're missing Grimoire. It's Tesseract, no one's at. Yeah, a lot of it's just Equinox, to be honest. Have the Ninja Mastery, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're missing, really. Yeah, I think it's just Grimoire and Equinox. Grimoire, Equinox, and maybe Arctis. Yeah, if anything, it would probably be trying to get to +19 for Arctis, but with endless summoning, you don't need to do this grind as much. You could just try to get more endless summoning waves completed, and you know that in and of itself can be a challenge for a lot of people, because fair play exists and fair play is relatively annoying. So, you know, pick your poison. Do you want to do divinity, or do you want to focus on summoning more? Summoning is more kind of, it's just very luck based. Now, when it comes to summoning these days, with the advent of these summoning stones and the summoning bosses and all that stuff, my actual recommendation has changed just a little bit when it comes to what your summoning doubler should be on. So in terms of essence generation, you know, stacking up upgrades and purchasing stuff in the shop, this is a fine setup. You're focusing all the ones that give you essence generation, so doing green knowledge, yellow knowledge, all that stuff here. And then you just kind of sit here for a few days, a week even, and just focus on upgrading like the essence generation itself if you want to stay on this for another week, or you can reset via the lamp and spend all your points into damage. So, you know, doubling up beefier units, doubling up stronger units, doubling up powerful units, doubling up unit damage. And obviously the most important one you should obviously do is infinite damage here. Damage laundering, it's also pretty good. Seeing red, it's really good. This one is not as impactful, so if you're struggling for summoning doublers, you don't have to do this one just yet, but brutal units for sure. This is a very big multiplier. Jeweled cards nowadays, I think, is actually really worth and really value as you push the higher levels of endless summoning. The reason being is because this increases your chances at drawing a jeweled Sparky. Now, what I'm unclear on is if there's a cap to how jeweled cards work, because the actual visual indicator for jeweled cards in the game is extremely bugged, and it says you have a 200+% chance to draw a jeweled variant. So I actually don't know if this is capping, like it like has a soft cap value. You have a 40% chance or something, but it doesn't seem it doesn't seem to work the way that it's worded. So I'm unsure how this actually works. And because of that, I'm unsure if actually doubling this now is a value, is like worth it or not, or if the summoning doublers from the shaman stones themselves already cap it. That's a question I have unanswered for myself. I would recommend you test it out, but if you have enough summoning doublers and you're able to throw an extra one of jeweled cards, I would do it, because if it does increase your chance of getting a jeweled Sparky, then it's worth it, because honestly, that is how you finish, or rather, that's how you get far in Endless Summoning, is getting lucky and getting jeweled Sparkies. If you don't see a jeweled Sparky, you're going to struggle on fair play. Now, to that point, there's a little bit of strategy when it comes to Endless Summoning and what you should do on fair play. You need to actually pay attention for the course of about 15 to 20 minutes. And whenever you're about, like, say you have the pushing power to reach the end of the wave, and you like lose your wave of enemies, your wave of slimes in fair play, what you need to do is you need to hard reroll and try to get a Sparky. And if you don't get a Sparky, it's basically game over and you restart. That being said, you still could get lucky and, you know, roll into it eventually. But in my opinion, what I found the best for pushing fair play is try to do the mental math of, okay, I have this many units on the board. If I leave them, can they reach the end? If you think the answer is yes, start re-rolling for a Sparky. If you don't start re-rolling, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, because when they reach the end, you lose every single one of your slimes, and you're still throwing at them just regular slimes and Frumbees and Bloomies, but they cannot kill the mobs because their HP is too high. You need to rely on Sparkies, and that's just a matter of fact for how Endless Summoning works these days. You need to rely on Sparkies, so you need to increase your odds at trying to find a Sparky, and you need to optimize your time in what you're actively doing in Endless Summoning. So if you're at that point and you're stuck, that's what I did to try to push past fair play, is I implemented that strategy. In fact, I think I have an Endless Summoning run I can probably jump at, because I honestly am not that active in Idleon that much anymore. It's just more passive with Arcane Cultist, so I definitely have some summoning tries, I believe, and probably need to upgrade my familiar. Do I need to do a reset? I think I need to do a reset just to demonstrate this. So give me a second, guys. Okay, summoning doublers, perfect. World 6. Okay, so I guess we can go over the cost things here. So unit damage, brutal units. You can kind of see my damage increase over time here. So infinite damage goes up to 21 trillion. I go damage laundering 21 to 56. And now just to show you how not impactful Merciless units is, 56 trillion to 57 versus if I double powerful units, 57 to 70. Yeah, the red damage it's just a brand new multiplier my ass, okay? It doesn't work like it says. Okay, and this is what I was talking about with jeweled cards. It says 90%, but I don't always draw jeweled cards, so you know, whatever. Seeing red, this is fantastic. The more damage you take, the more damage you deal. Yellow spikes, this is a fantastic one to help deal more damage to the enemies, especially if it does 214% of your base damage. Starting mana for real, this is fantastic for getting you more mana generation. It combos well with mana overflow. This green spikes does nothing. Like, what is 3,000 damage to an enemy that is going to have Q HP or QQ HP? Doesn't do anything. Final card for mana regen, mana dividends for mana regen, mana Renar for mana regen. Honestly, this is all the mana regen that you actually need. What else? Let's see. I mean, I have a ton more, so, but that's really it in terms of damage that you want to upgrade units of destruction, I guess. And you know, you don't really need to spend any more points. I spent a little bit more points than is like bare minimum necessary. Like, you don't need HP. Every single one of your guys are going to die immediately, no matter what mob it is. Like, your Guardios are dead immediately if you're in 190 plus Endless Summoning. There is no way around that. So it's just a waste of your points. I just have leftover points, and you know, why not? There's a little bit of logic for trying to do a like hybrid damage and hybrid essence generation build, but if you're just focusing on trying to push Endless Summoning, focus on damage upgrades, and then just go fight, and then, you know, do a Lamp Wish reset and just focus on essence generation for a few days. It just kind of flips flops back and forth between those two. just focus on either essence generation or either damage. Also, I have a ton of points here, so I'm going to go spend those points. E26, E25, blah, blah. Also, you may be asking yourself, why am I not, respecking my AC for these summoning points? That's because I have a second Arcane Cultist here. I don't want to click on it, but it does have the talent point spec'd for the summoning stuff, so I don't need to do that since it doesn't stack, and it just counts that character. So let's see what's this is a good one, this is a good one. Yellow's, I mean, yellow's not really that good. Purple is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's not really much that. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason really for me to double pretty much anything else here. It's just the damage ones that really matter. And obviously, the more upgrades you get of stuff. Oh, I forgot to do the yellow one. Honestly, I might be able to do the boss actually, because I haven't done the red boss yet. I think at level 5, which I might be able to with the 143 chill damage that I have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The only reason I'm doing this is so I can showcase what my strategy is in fair play. And honestly, it also depends on if I get lucky with Sparkies, because I'm at like 240 something endless summoning. Yep, this is the ADHD content you guys strive for. Yeah, I think that's most of the upgrades. And again, the reason why I'm even sitting here and upgrading everything right now, even though it's not useful, is because every power of 10 upgrade that you get, because the damage laundering upgrade here, or sorry, every 100 total summoning upgrades you have gives you more damage. So by me spending my points means I could potentially get more damage. I think I got more HP there. So it's definitely worth it to spend your upgrades. And this is why you kind of flip-flop between an essence generation and a damage build. Is because whenever you're not fighting an endless summoning, say you're hard stuck like I would spec straight into essence generation, sit there for like a week, and then respec back into a damage one, and then start pushing. And if I still don't succeed, spec out and do essence generation again. Okay, so we'll showcase fair play here, because I'm also stuck here. This is good. I would stop here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them hit me, because again, the more damage is dealt to me, the more my damage stacks because of the seeing red upgrade. So we just sit here and we'll let this stack. And while it's unlikely I'll be able to kill these guys, the Sparkies do so much damage that there is a possibility I'll be able to kill them. And the Sparkies themselves have a lot of pushback, and that's the reason why Sparkies are good, is because they have the pushback. So the name of the game for fair play is really just getting lucky on Sparkies. I wouldn't necessarily consider myself able to push this right now. I probably need like 4 more Sparkies, to be completely honest with you, to be able to push them towards the end. And this is looking like a loss already, because I'm not finding any Sparkies. Yeah, this is definitely a loss here. There's a little bit of strategy when it comes to the Guardios. Like they knock back the enemies pretty far, so it's like you could potentially influence it. Okay, so this is also a little bit of a trick here. Now, there is a bug in summoning. I don't know if it's actually been fixed or not, but if you do a summoning run and you lose, and you don't leave the map, the speed of the enemies will stay the same. Like, they stack up over time in normal summoning. However, if you don't leave the map after losing, the speed itself will cap at that max value it normally scales up to. So if you don't want to immediately lose, or you want a little bit more time on finding Sparkies, leave the map, come back in, and do your summoning. That way the speed slowly ramps up. I'm rerolling the 1 Sparky there. I feel like it's just not good enough, especially with this high level. One Sparky there. And I have so many rerolls that it's just... Okay. This is already just looking like a loss. Okay. We're just going to roll with it and see if we get lucky or not. Okay, Jeweled Sparky. That is good. It doesn't truthfully matter like where you position Sparky, to be honest with you. Just because they'll issue the knockback no matter where you put them. Aiming towards the middle is usually best. Okay, so now it's approaching the territory to where I think I'll be able to reach the end. So I'm just going to keep rolling here and pressing R for a Sparky. Okay, I'm going to keep rolling because one Sparky is not enough. And there we go. We hit the end. So now we just keep on rolling. We got a Sparky. We got more Sparkies there. So this is good. This is a good start, but unfortunately I need more RNG and I need more Sparkies here. There's only one Sparky left. If he dies, the front line kind of dies and it's over. Okay, got another one, another two. Okay, another three. So we're recovering slightly. We kind of need to keep up that RNG. And this is the big issue with fair play these days is it takes an insane amount of consistent RNG over the course of 20 minutes. And if you aren't lucky consistently over 20 minutes, then you cannot beat fair play. Or you just need to get like an insane amount of damage, which, you know, is not happening right now. Okay, this Jeweled Regalis might actually help the top row a little bit. No, it's over. So that's kind of essentially the strategy. It didn't work there because I got 3 Sparkies when I needed like 20. So that's essentially the strategy you want to aim for when it comes to endless summoning, when specifically on fair play. You saw how I recognized I had enough Sparkies to push to the end, and in fact I did. And during the time they were pushing, I was re-rolling and trying to find Sparkies for me to use. So that's a strategy that I employ when it comes to endless summoning, and that's why I specifically try to find, or rather I double jeweled cards, is because if I do find a jeweled Sparky, it's more likely to push to the end because it more than doubles it doubles the actual Sparkies that's summon it out of the card, which means they have more pushing power, which means they're more likely to reach the end, which means I'll have more time to re-roll and try to find more jeweled Sparkies for the next round of my push. So I'll just wait there on that round until they push to the end, all my units die, and then I'll summon the Sparkies and it'll bounce the way back, so I'll have a little bit more time to find more Sparkies, so I'll be able to push more towards the end, and the cycle kind of repeats itself until you finish fair play. So that's kind of the cycle you need to get yourself into if you want to try to push fair play. And obviously sticking on an essence generation build for a little bit, cycling that back into damage upgrades, and then trying to filter those essence points back into whatever your cheapest upgrades are, so you can stack up the damage laundering upgrade here to get more damage and hopefully be able to eventually kill some of the mobs, because every single mob you kill means one more hit you can potentially take in one of your slimes, which means you can survive a little bit longer when it comes to fair play. So damage has still a little bit of meaning, and as you scale up damage, you might be able to kill another boss, for example. One of the stones here. So like the blue boss here is probably the next one you need to aim for, and then after that, Cinerdomium is what you need to aim for. So there you go. Okay, moving on. Back to the basics. I suppose some people are going to be happy we talked about endless summoning, because it can be a little bit daunting for people, I suppose. Okay. Exalta stamp usage, I'd say pretty good. Hit a lot. Did the important ones. You have even Death of Adam Price, Gold Apple, Crystalline. Crystalline stamp's pretty low. You can actually upgrade this right now. Yeah, you can definitely upgrade this. Crystalline stamp is really good. There's a reason we double it, and if you have the resources to upgrade it, you should absolutely upgrade it. I would honestly get multiple stacks of boring bricks in your inventory, so that you can upgrade Crystalline stamp, because your max capacity on the Wiz Blaspa character is 34 billion. So it speaks volumes that without the hydrogen reduction, you have the carry capacity to actually upgrade it to 260. So you may as well do it, because this means that if this stamp gets hit by no stamp left behind, you're kind of wasting points. You've essentially wasted a day when you could be hitting higher levels of Crystalline stamp. And the more levels of Crystalline stamp you get, the more you're able to statue farm on DK, or get more EXP for farming in World 6, for example. So I would highly recommend trying to level up Crystalline stamp even more, getting it to 250, even 260. Hell, I think you can honestly, legitimately get it to 280, to be completely honest with you, just naturally, based off of how much carry capacity you have available on your character. And honestly, because your Dragon Warrior statue is so high, and I imagine your bubble is also pretty high for Hammer, your production speed is really not that bad. You can definitely get 40, 50, 60 billion boring bricks without a problem. And to that point, talking about bubbles, I think probably something in your near future. Oh wow, I see some of those Prisma bubbles that you have there. Yikes. Okay. Well, oh my god. Okay, so you giga spent on the event. Okay, well, I guess that's fine. Personally, it's a little distasteful that you didn't do any of the damage multipliers, like the power try 1, try 2, try 3. Instead, you did Cropius Mapper, Atom Split, and what was the other egregious one I saw? Stealth Chapter. The fact you've doubled those is a little bit heinous to me, over stuff like the power try 1, try 2, try 3 bubbles. But yep. I mean, Shimmeron's actually not that bad of an of a double, so can't disagree with you there. But you know, what happens happens. My recommendation is do a little bit of candy clicking. Try to get a little bit higher levels of your base stat bubbles or your skilling bubbles or what have you. I think there's always a reason to push skill efficiency. There's always a reason to push damage. If you're able to candy click a bubble, may as well do it. Even as annoying as it is, it still helps you in the long run with your account. So definitely get on it. I think getting Larry to like 10k is probably something you want to do in the short term, and then getting your stat bubbles up to 10k. And if you want to push further to like 50k, depending on if you like candy clicking, up to you, but you can definitely do that. Okay, Owl 19, that's pretty good. Vials on the vial grind. Yep, I mean, you have pretty much all the feasible bubbles up to level 13. It's just a very long grind for the red salt vial, so it's just going to come over time as you try to level up your red salts and, you know, rank them up. So, oh man, when was the last time you have like no red salts? When was the last time you claimed this? Well, if you want to get the vial to 13, just remember to claim your red salts. With you being in the 700s levels, it's should be pretty fast. Salt lick. Oh yeah, make sure to max that out, my dude. I think you can max this out. No, this is how much you have in your inventory, your storage rather. Okay, all the sets unlocked. That's good to see. Cooking. Capped out. Perfect. Okay, breeding. This is probably something for you to aim for. Not breedability, but let's do 15. Okay, you have a few pets done at 15. That's completely fine. I mean, farm. Oh wait, sorry. Oh wow. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, genuine recommendation is with World 7 nearing the corner. There's always a few kind of stagnant things that get introduced with a new world. Number one is going to be meals. So all with the advent of World 5 and with the advent of World 6, actually I wasn't there for World 5, so I actually don't know, but I'm just spitballing and guessing, but I know for a fact World 6 introduced new meals. So trying to get meal speed in any way you can, and specifically upgrading your meal bonus is going to be very good for you. So double check you actually have these or not. Sheepy is only a level 11, but your red mushrooms at 17. So to prep for World 7, depending on how powerful those meals are, actually, you know, doesn't matter how powerful those meals are, you should still get this upgraded. Getting Sheepy and red mushroom to level 20 is imperative. Because of how powerful these bonuses are. Bonus from all meal is such a strong thing because of how many things cooking actually, you know, provides. It most notably with the advent of World 6, gold food bonus. Like, this was insane, right? This genuinely like skyrocketed the amount of gold food effect that we had. And with the advent, you know, with the beanstalk, man, I love the word advent today, huh? With the beanstalk specifically, giving us like permanent gold food across our characters, a separate stack of gold food. Gold food bonus is insanely powerful. And in fact, you know how powerful gold food is because you doubled Shimmeron. So you should naturally want to try to upgrade your shiny pets, right? Because it'll give you more bonuses for a meal, which will inevitably multiply the gold food effect that Yummy Peach Ring gives you from cooking. So definitely aim to get these specific pets up to 20 to help you out. And you know, assuming World 7 works like a regular world, you need to kill mobs to push portals. Multi-Copertier is definitely something you want to aim for. Now, this is very low compared to sources like the Hole or, you know, just getting raw damage, but this this is a source of multi-kill per tier, and it's something it's just really nice to have. So there's no reason for you not to. And I would honestly recommend trying to do some active Windwalker farming and trying to get your pets up to level 15 here. So the rats, dedicated rams, blokes, baby boas, your shiny pet multi is really, really good here. And getting your pets up to level 15 should not be that difficult at all, to be completely honest with you. I don't know if you have any shiny pets right now that you're cooking. Have any? Okay, so you have Tyson. So let me look up your. What does Tyson give? Artifact Find Chance. I don't even know why you're doing that one. So if you want to get this to 20, 3 of these pets will take 490 days. Now this seems daunting, but do remember that when you're active on Windwalker, it'll speed up this progress every time you kill a mob. Rather, a chance to speed up the progress every time you kill the mob, and that gets multiplied with a shiny pet multi that you have here. So with the 3 pets, it won't take you 490 days, like actual days, to complete this. It'll probably take you like a week, is how powerful this is. So keep that in the back of your mind. Shiny pet farming is and has always been very strong. With Windwalker introducing the respawn mechanic, or they're making it more feasible of a respawn mechanic, Windwalker is still purposeful. Like, there's still a good reason to do it active, and that is shiny pet farming. So I would definitely do the bonuses from all meals, probably star signs, because that can get expanded on. It might get expanded on. There's still empty space within the Seraph Cosmos, or rather the Seraph star signs. Drop rate is a fantastic one. Faster refinery speed, if you want to do that as well. If you want to prep, because there's always the possibility more artifacts are introduced, or for that matter, higher artifact tiers. Getting dog up for the minimum travel time for sailing might help. What else? I guess base critters, if with the potentiality of new pets, or sorry, new critters being added, base critters will give you more EXP and also help you get some of those vials to 13 if World 7 introduces more pet vials, or rather critter vials. Base efficiency for all skills, getting these pets, Sand Giant and some of the other ones level 20 will be a definite long-term goal for you. So Carrot mentioned specifically, you already have this at 19, but Sand Giant's getting it to 20 as well. Definitely something that'll help you out, especially if Lava Deviates and World 7 skills introduce, have skill efficiency. Getting base skill efficiency will massively improve them, but we haven't had we haven't had skills that you needed skill efficiency since cooking, right? I think cooking was the only one in recent memory. Yeah, no surprise there. Level 25 snail. You don't have the 24 sprout capacity, but it's such a pain. Whether you want to do that or not is completely up to you. Yeah. How's your bravery? You have 24? You don't have 24,000 yet? You don't have 24? Okay. I talked about this all the time. Okay? Like, I feel like people are trolling me now. Listen, I bring up the hole all the time, and I always talk about how many hours you should aim for. 24k justice, 100k bravery, 10k wisdom at the bare minimum. Those are inevitably what you want to end up at. Like 24k justice immediately is like the number one best thing, right? And then 10k wisdom maybe, and then 24k bravery, and then stick your characters in bravery until the heat death of the universe. Because the more hours you put into bravery, the more sword damage you get, which means the more waves you can get, which means you get more chances at seeing bravery bonus multi. Right now, I don't think you're able to hit and see bravery bonus multi because your damage is so low, and bravery bonus multi is such a big thing for you because for number one, it'll give you more damage because you have this upgrade here. This will multiply the amount of damage this is giving you. It'll give you more gaming bit gains. So if you want to get more purple bits, this is a great way to do that. Bravery is a fantastic way to scale your gaming bit gain. So if you're looking to finish gaming and trying to get those 24 sprout spots, I would highly recommend trying to push bravery hours more to try to get more gaming bit gain. To flesh out your prints, getting more mining efficiency. 4,700 is pretty good, but you can still push this kind of infinitely, and this is a linear scaling increase to mining efficiency, so this is a great source of it. And bravery bonus multi will, again, multiply this. I guess we can kind of compare notes here. I look at my bravery, and I'm not going to lie, I've been very slacking on my bravery recently. I'm at 114,000. I have level 23,000 mining efficiency, level 111 bravery bonus multi. I have 128,000% mining efficiency versus your measly 19,000. I'll be generous and round up for you. So I have almost 100,000 more. I have 100,000 more percent mining efficiency than you. So yeah. Also, the more waves you get to bravery means you get more chests, which means you get more of these bonuses. It just, adds more time to bravery is the only downside. So if you want to see any true progress to your account, stick your characters AFK at bravery until you get 100k hours is my genuine recommendation. Well, first of all, 24k hours for justice, and then 100k for bravery. Yeah, I mean, as you get justice to 24,000, you'll be able to complete monuments, or rather get more monument AFK gain this way, and you'll be able to see justice bonus multi, which will scale the monument AFK gain, which means you get more monument AFK gain, which means you spend less time AFK at the monuments to hit those milestones. So that's why I recommend justice at 24k first, is because it's easier to get the AFK gain here. You just need to read. That's it. There's a whole, you honestly, you don't even need to think anymore to do justice. There's every single time I mention it, I bring up the website. There is a whole website dedicated to justice, where if you legitimately have zero reading comprehension, this will tell you what to do. Say you're on case 54, okay? And you see Grumblo. And Grumblo is saying, me like coin. Me give X, you give X coin, I give you random gift. There's only one option for you to do. It's approve, okay? Or for example, if you get the hand guy, if it's this one, reject. Only approve if you have a lot of coins. If it's this one, reject. If it's this one, approve. Unless this. This one, approve. Unless this one, approve. It's so brain dead. There is zero excuse. There is zero excuse for anyone to not do justice and not understand how to do their own justice run. And what you should do with this is look at this spreadsheet, look at this website, and as you put the information in, understand why you're approving and rejecting this. And that way, over time, you don't have to rely on this website. I don't use this anymore because I understand the risks of every single choice, and I understand the benefits and the cons of whatever it is. This is how I've learned, not this website specifically, but the spreadsheets prior that built this website. Use this. I talk about this all the time. For people who hate justice, you don't need to do justice personally. There's a website for you that will do justice for you, for you to scale your monument AFK gain to try to get more monument AFK gain for bravery, justice, and scale those to get more of your account bonus. I suppose you're gemstone farming, so that's pretty good. Your beanstalk is not maxed yet. You have a few things left to max. This is a World 4 Crystal Farm gold food. You can definitely do this. Golden cakes, at least do the 10,000, please. I don't know if you have the recipe for this or not, but you can also fight I think it's the World 6 mini boss, right? So make sure to do the Coliseum if you're missing the recipe. You have 940 tickets. You should be able to force, or rather brute force, the golden cake recipe if you're missing it. If you're able to craft it, there's no excuse to try to get 10k. I would honestly do the same thing that we did for Arcane Cultist here. Honestly, probably instead of doing Neptune farming, you can go to Clammy's, for example, and stack up the drop right here, AFK gain here, and try to get more perler shells this way. Honestly, I've heard talks of people trying to green stack the golden cakes recipe. I don't know how possible that is, but with the multipliers to drop rate and AFK gain, I suppose it's more possible now than it was in the past. So, join the party and get at least 100k golden cakes, 110k golden cakes, and complete this on the beanstalk. Golden ribs is just like ridiculously easy. Okay, this is just DK gold food farming at Clammy's. Okay, that's all it is. Golden jam. You can do this in World 1 Coliseum. You can do this in, I think, World 5 or World 6 Colo. I can't remember it. I'm pretty sure it's World 5. Actually, I think both of them drop golden gem, to be completely honest with you, but this is a very easy one for you to do. Let's see. Okay, Shlab, you have a few Shlab items to do. This one is just equipping the star sign. If you forget what star sign this is, it is like right here. It's the blue hedgehog. You align here, and then just by aligning with it, whether you have infinite star signs or not, you'll be able to drop it. If you have infinite star signs and you don't have this like actively aligned, you cannot drop the ring. You have to physically align with this to be able to actually get the ring to drop. So keep that in the back of your mind to be able to drop that. There's a lot of dungeon stuff here. There's some treasure hunt items I see here. This is a treasure hunt. This is treasure hunt. This is treasure hunt. You can also get steamy time candy, I believe, from treasure hunt. This is treasure hunt as well. Some of these are dungeon stuff. This is just arcane cultist. This is Deathbringer or dungeon stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's some things here that you can get to complete off your slab. So I'd recommend doing that. I guess last thing I kind of want to end on is talking about Kilroy's always. Yeah, so get this to 180, get this to 120, and then from there, you know, I would personally just spend the rest of my time until the heat death of the universe putting all my points into bonus skulls, because personally I would hate to have more time into Kilroy. I'd rather just get a bunch of skulls if I'm able to, than have to spend 1 hour each character, each attempt at Kilroy, eventually stacking this up into the thousands of levels over time. Just is not likable in my opinion. But yeah, spending a bunch of points here. Also, okay, let's talk about this. This is a horrendously terrible upgrade. This has almost zero, and I mean almost zero impact to farming. It is so negligible. It is not worth spending your Kilroy skulls here. It is probably such a bait. This is probably akin to class EXP ballot bonus is how bad this is. Okay, yeah, and get your cap and rate up to like 1,000, bro. That's about it. Okay, so Wippaz, thank you so much for the account, man. You know, a few things here and there. Skolo major talent for DB. You're summoning a little bit of advice there when it comes to, you know, how to spend your doublers, and specifically when it comes to how to try and get past fair play. Hopefully you can utilize that advice. Let me know if it actually does help with you. It can take a little bit of time for you to be able to pass fair play. I know it can be painful for a lot of people, especially, you know, as you get higher and higher, fair play becomes more and more of a problem. So I wish you the best of luck, my dude. Also, I guess last thing to call out, remember your Shimmer trial exists. People tend, honestly, see this more and more in the Discord. People tend to forget about the Shimmer Island. Focusing all your points into skill efficiency. Just remember it exists every single week, because this is free skill efficiency, and this does get multiplied by one of the lanterns from the sailing artifact, one of the last items, the Shim lantern. This one multiplies that skill efficiency. Anyways, Wippaz, I'll go ahead and stop yapping. You had a great account. Look, again, just a few things here and there. Hopefully you glean some advice that you can actually use and hopefully help you out with your account. I appreciate it again, as always. Have a great day, YouTube. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I just want to say as a last thing, thank you to all of my Twitch subscribers and YouTube channel members. You guys really help the channel grow and really motivate me to continue making videos. If you guys do also want to support me on YouTube, it's just $1 a month for a channel subscription at the lowest tier. You can choose to give more if you want. Just want to say that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your support. Have a great day. Bye.